A very good morning to you all. I hope we're all fine. Sunday, the 4th of February 2024. We're here to take a look at the weather for the week ahead, and with yet changes coming down from the north, this forecast will be more about snow watch. Very interesting changes coming about in the weather, and we'll just start off by taking a look at the jet stream as to how this is all going to play out. So at the moment, we're very mild, but just watch over the course of the next few days. This jet stream that is in the north slowly but surely edges south. So that by the time we get to Thursday, it's sitting across Spain and Portugal. And then by next weekend, that jet stream has dived all the way down into the Mediterranean. Cold weather is on the way, but there will be a few fly in the ointments. This is the UK after all, and it's never straightforward. So that's the jet stream. We'll now just take a look at the anomalies to see how this is playing out. Never has a cold front moving down from the north created so much interest. So these are your anomalies today. Very mild again across many parts of the UK. Temperatures easily 6, 7, 8 degrees above average at the moment. But yeah, just tomorrow, a very mild day. But then watch this long forecast cold front moving south. This is Tuesday, this is Wednesday, and this is Thursday. And this is where I'm going to stop it, because Thursday is the day of a potential snow event as the warmer air in the south starts to push back north. So let's watch it and see how it all plays out. So at the moment, and certainly for the course of the next sort of day or so, it's a very wet picture across many parts of Western Scotland, down towards sort of some areas of the lakes and Northern Ireland. Orographic rainfall, very mild westerly air masses pushing up against the upslopes, creating an insane amount of rainfall. So really the story for the next couple of days will be that of a lot of rain across the far northwest of the UK. Look at this. This is the amount of rain that's going to be falling in the gauges across Western Scotland, up to sort of 140, 130 millimetres of rain. Quite a bit of rain there. So, yeah, but this will all change as the cold front starts to move north or southwards. Current top of the hots, 12 degrees at Yeovilton, 12 at Southend, 11 at Pershore. But yeah, many stations extremely mild. And really, the cold air has gone temporarily as well. I see the coldest spot this morning, minus 0.3 at Annock Moor at 680 metres above sea level. And if we just go over to the, I think this is the Glen Shee Trail, up at around about 700 metres, the snow has largely gone. Right, that's all going to change as the week goes along. Cold air will be marching south, and I'm going to show you a really interesting chart as to how this is going to come about. We're going to look at the 850 HPA temperatures, which gives us the upper level cold. So yeah, just play this out. This is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is where the cold front is sitting. Very cold air uppers to the north, very mild, certainly for the first 2 or 3 days of the week across the south. But just notice how by the time we get to Wednesday, that cold air behind that cold front has nearly made it to the south coast. But then what happens? We've been seeing it in other videos. It kind of pivots across the southwest, and then what happens is a warm front pushes back north to bring the colder air further north. But it's this warm front that is going to be bringing in the battle zone between that mild air to the south and the cold air to the north. There is going to be a snow event on Thursday. This is all dictated as to how far this cold front gets south first before the retreat northwards. But yet somewhere is going to be in the firing line for quite a bit of snow on Thursday. And it's fair to say that the battle zones have trended rather further south over the last couple of days. And I'm going to show you a couple of charts. So I'm going to start off with the ECM's take on things. We'll just run through the forecast quickly for the next couple of days. So this is Monday, as we've seen, very mild across the UK on Monday, with patchy drizzle across many western slopes and some other places further south at times. But yeah, a generally cloudy, nondescript sort of day, with temperatures on Monday peaking around about 10 or 11. But just notice towards the far north of the UK, you're already behind the cold front. You're in the slightly cooler air, 2s and 3s by the end of the day. We move forward to Tuesday. And Tuesday, we're tracking this cold front moving southwards by then. It's making its journey. Colder air coming into Scotland, mild across the south with more in the way of patchy rain and drizzle, with more heavier rain on this front. This is at 2 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon, with the rain sitting across Ireland, across many parts of northern England, perhaps a little bit of snow just on the back edge of that as the front continues to make its journey southwards. And that rain perhaps becoming slightly more intense as a little sort of disturbance, a little low pressure forms on the flow as it comes south. Temperatures on Tuesday, very, very marked. You can see where that cold air boundary is sitting. So once again, extremely mild to the south, temperatures 12, possibly 13 or 14. But yeah, to the north of Wales, northwards, across Ireland, across Scotland, much, much colder. And this is because you'll be on the north side of the cold front. By the time we reach Wednesday, that cold front, it makes its journey south. It actually does clear the south coast. And Wednesday, to all intents and purposes, is looking like a generally dry and fine day with some wintry showers across the north, but always rather a lot of cloud just down to the south and the southwest. And then later on in the day, this is where we start to bring up the new frontal system, which is going to bring us in for Thursday's attack. So these are the temperature maximums on Wednesday afternoon. See, the colder air has actually reached many parts of the south. So yeah, even down in London, you'll be seeing temperatures of around about 4 or 5 degrees up towards Scotland. Much, much colder, sub-zero for many places, and many other parts of England and Wales are generally sitting in that 2 to 5 degree bracket. Right, we'll now go on to Thursday to show you the attack. I'm going to show you a take from the ECM, and I'm going to take you to the GFS as well, because as I've mentioned, this has trended slightly further south. So this is what we wake up to on Thursday morning. Rather a lot of cloud and heavy rain down across the south, an area of low pressure just pushing in towards the southwest approaches, pushing that front northwards. But yeah, this is at 6 o'clock on Thursday morning. A lot of snow sitting across parts of southern Ireland, parts of North Wales. And then as we push this forward through, this is at 9 o'clock on Thursday morning. Heavy rain, mild air to the south. But yeah, the battle zone sitting somewhere across that North Midlands towards the north of England will bring a snow event on Thursday across those areas that you can see demarked by purple. That pushes out the way slowly, but yeah, then it kind of just lingers. So a very interesting day being portrayed on Thursday and for a while on Friday from the ECM before it does slowly but surely start to retreat back further south again. To the north, always colder with wintry showers and easterly breezes in cold air. But yeah, just down to the mild south, temperatures holding on there. But yeah, I think there is a signal that the colder air will be moving southwards across the weekend. We'll come on to that in just a moment. So that's the ECM's take on things this morning. We'll now take a look at the GFS's take. So once again, as we've seen, we know what the temperature is going to be doing. Very mild for the next few days, rather cloudy Monday, with this band of rain on this cold front pushing southwards on Tuesday. So there we go. Again, by the end of Tuesday, it's sitting across the north of the UK with some snow just tucking in, undercutting the front on its northern edge. And then as this pushes down into the south on Wednesday, heavy rain to start day, but that front clears south. And as I've mentioned, similar to the ECM, a generally dry and fine day on Wednesday with sunny skies, but just wintry showers, snow showers in colder air to the north. It's by the time we get to the end of Wednesday that this front starts to then move back northwards. And once again, the GFS, they're painting a bit of a snow event on the boundary. If we just forward this through to Thursday, so remember, this was a very similar scene to what was being shown by the ECM at this time. 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock on Thursday morning. Again, heavy snowfall across Northern Ireland, many parts of North Wales, Northern England, Midlands, North Midlands. And then as the day progresses, yeah, that just tends to then sort of migrate slowly eastwards and then fizzle in situ before another push of milder air comes up from the south later on in the day, with always Scotland and the far north of England and Northern Ireland in that colder air. All very interesting. So do keep in touch with these forecasts. Please subscribe to this channel, because what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing daily updates. This is update number 2. Update number 3 will probably be put on there tomorrow evening, because we will be needing to track this situation. Right, this is the facts chart. I thought a really interesting one for Thursday, just showing you really what's going on, attacking, coming up from the south, cold air to the north. Right, longer term, it's quite likely we're going to go to next. Let's go to the early part of next week. I'm going to just show you, this is what the GFS is looking like. So yeah, there is quite a strong signal that colder air will be coming down from the north. It will reassert itself across the south by the end of the weekend, bringing us into a rather cold regime. And if we put some 850s on that, you will see that the average 850s have actually turned cold by the time we get to next Sunday. And then really then what we're then doing is we're keeping some cold air over us the early part of next week, with always the risk of low pressure systems just starting to come in to potentially offer some sort of potential snow events again from the south. But there is a slight signal, certainly from the GFS, for things to eventually start warming up next week. The ECM's take on it is such that the early part of next week, again, rather cold to start the week, with northerly breezes coming down. Just see how there's some low pressure systems just in the Atlantic, just pushing into that flow, could just bring us the chance of another sort of rain, sleet, snow event, battle event, before potentially things do start to turn a little bit milder. Now, I'm saying a little bit milder. There are a lot of background signals that could support the extension of this cold air, but I think it's fair to say that the ensembles aren't really picking it up. So I think we have to pay attention to this rather than the background signals. We've had them all winter. We've got easterly QBO in place, which would generally support more sort of blocking situations. We've had a couple of stratospheric warmings in the last few weeks. We're going to have one next week, which would suggest that the polar vortex is taking a bit of a hammering that would support more in the way of northern blocking. So there are some background drivers, but I think it's fair to say, looking at the ensembles in the longer term, yep, we've got a mild week coming up for London. This is London. These are your 850s. That cool off is quite well supported now for next weekend into the early part of next week, before things start to turn a little bit uncertain. We just put your snow spikes on for London. Here we go. So yeah, mild this week, the potential of some snow events picking up around the 10th or the 11th as we pull in colder air. We move north to Sheffield to take a look at your ensemble. So these are your snow spikes. Again, quite well supported now for some snow falling up across the Sheffield area, northern England, from Thursday. So get your shovels at the ready based on this morning's output. Lots of snow spikes showing there. And your 850 HPA temperatures are such that, yeah, you're well supported for some cold air initially on the 7th and to the 8th, and then again sort of towards the early part of next week, before things become slightly more uncertain. And then if we just go up to Edinburgh, well, you're north of the border, you're always in the colder air. I think it's fair to say that your cold spell starts on the 6th, and there's fairly good agreement that this will go on up there in the north for at least a week or so before things become slightly more uncertain. And we just put some snow spikes on for Edinburgh. You'll see again, a fairly good signal for cold air to be in place and hold for at least 7 to 9 days, as we've mentioned. So that is it in summary. A very sort of volatile week. We will all turn colder by the end of the week into next weekend, but it will be a messy picture. There will be snow events, particularly across the north, particularly across the Midlands. That could trend south, that could trend north. That's why we're going to keep tracking it before, as I've mentioned, colder air in the north eventually wins out. So yeah, I hope you've all found this forecast useful. I'm going to go and get about my day now. It's my wife's birthday, so I'm going to get on and enjoy the celebrations. Thanks for watching, and ciao for now.